here. Nelson keeps coming onto Clubhouse trying to steal Clubhouse's audience. If I was the CEO of Clubhouse, I would be really pissed off at Nelson. And I would ban him from coming in here. I mean, somebody's got to put some, American wake-up call on what this guy's doing, because it's not safe. It's getting where it's like full-on ghetto now. When I guess last night they all brought their guns out on their videos, That's fucking insane. And I land. Thanks for letting me talk. Thank you.
Dr. Mojo, since you are the premier green bean, I would just ask that, as the super producer, if at any moment you want to make a request, during the show today or tomorrow, and you say, okay, you know what, John or somebody else in the room, give us chillism, give us, this show, give us that show, or give us a random sample, just to break it up.
Yeah, so I think what we're going to do is we'll have like a regular room where we talk, and then people can say, hey, here's a subject, here's a topic in another room, maybe we check on that. And then when we do it, once we do bring the stream in, everybody needs to remain on mute so we can hear the stream. This is where we need to get, we'll have like a culture in here of, if we want to stop it, we'll get a GIF. And then if more than 50% of the stage wants to stop the stream, then we'll indicate, the stop. Like if it's good, we'll just let it go. Maybe we'll even have an indication of keep it going. And then we'll have like a universal signal when we want it to stop. And then when we stop it, then we'll discuss it. We'll go around the room. We'll talk about it. And then if we want to tap back in and listen to it some more, we can do that. If we want to check in a different room, we'll do that. But we're going to have to get visual cues, not audio cues of when we're done with the content. That way you would know, okay, you can stop now.
I think also putting a survey, once we know the names of the shows that we're rebroadcasting, that we have a survey, what's your favorite show out of the 4 selections that we've been sampling?
That's a good idea. And then if we do tap into a debate, we'll definitely let people here decide who won their debate. And then we could give a feedback loop to them of like, hey, congratulations. The people in the muff believe that so-and-so won the debate. And then it'll just be a nice little, it's almost like publishing a voter guide. Adams, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Also, don't forget tomorrow, if you are in the muff with us and you are part of this live rebroadcast experience, we may call you out and need your help to go into these rooms and alert them that they're being rebroadcast in this room. Your active participation is desperately needed. Without your help, you won't maximize the experience and have as much fun as you can, and this room won't be as popular and as big as it will be. So please, your participation will be required and needed.
Yeah, I think this is going to be fun. I think we'll also have to have some firm rules, like, for this room. Typical stuff that we already agreed to, like no doxing and no threats and that sort of thing. So when we're critiquing people, I think we should, I almost feel like we should play the critique straight. Like, the comedy is going to be what we stream, and then we could be the straight men and women, and we could critique it in an honest way, and then we can go back to the comedy that they provide to us. I don't think we need to add humor, a layer of humor over top of this, because the humor will be provided for us.
5 p.m. What time zone is that?
That's Pacific. I will have to put the times. I'm going to schedule them on different days at different times just to make sure we can start getting a snapshot of different people and their availability so they can understand what's going on. Once we build the culture and the awareness that it's happening, then we'll standardize on a particular time that works best for most.
You're non-black, correct?
No, she's not.
I have a feeling we're going to find new favorite rooms. That's what I believe is going to happen. We're going to tap into a room, and it's going to be like, holy shit, where has this room been all our life? I think that's what's going to happen here. We're going to be scouring the app
I don't
to
think
find
the whole
content.
science should be in
And,
public
we need
because
everybody's help to do this.
if
Now, some people may not like this new format. I have a feeling we're going to be kind of chasing the dragon in the sense that a lot of this is very boring. And so this is not a compression of the best clips. Again, this will be live. This isn't going to be like a day of recordings from yesterday and the best of the best. But my point is, in doing this, is that what's the fucking difference? It's the same stupid shit. You're just listening to it in this room.
How many different devices? Like, what's your goal? How many rooms are you going to? Like, what's your record for recording simultaneously?
I did a 3 studio recording session where I had 3 rooms being recorded live on multiple devices in different rooms of my house, or actually 4 different rooms in my house.
I think the White America rooms might provide some interesting content for us.
And I want to let everybody know this could be a grand finale type show. Like tomorrow, I will dedicate the morning to doing this, but this is basically the summary of my research project. This is like my thesis statement being submitted for my PhD. So this is the end of it. Like tomorrow will be a blowout, and I very much doubt we will do the same show. Maybe we'll do it this whole week. I don't know how hard it's going to draw me in, but this is what I've been doing for many years now. We're only doing what we've always been doing, but pull that curtain away and we're going to find out, who the Wizard of Oz is.
Lordness, what do you, I'm going to get back to the anarchy thing. What do you think would be different in terms of the crime rate? Do you think the crime rate with no police force, do you think it would go up or go down?
I mean, who would actually record it?
Well, let's just say there was an independent third party that did a survey.
How about this? Mojo, all right, how about this? Let's say in a corporation, communist ideology, specific territory within this ideology, right? It would vary, but I don't think the crime rate would be high in those territories, but in the neutral zone, it would vary. I mean, it would be difficult to try to record all of the deaths in the neutral zone, especially if nobody's going to really clean up the place. But I think it might be lower in a specific territory.
Who do you think would fare better, lefties, righties, or centrists?
Centrists.
Well, how would they fare better?
Is the question no law and order at all, or just local police, or no FBI, or what? All law enforcement gone?
So or ideology, corporations, religion, cults, ideologies, all of them, they're only able to control land and territory. They're able to have their own form of military, and police force is mainly based on currency, population, and a weapon of technology that they have to defend their specific ideology. Neutral zones, obviously, it's like a Wild West in some way. Just people just mind their own business.
You realize that in the Wild West they had sheriffs, right?
Oh, yeah. But I'm not saying like that. I'm just saying it as a hypothetical.
Right, but you referenced the Wild West, and I'm just suggesting that if you take like Tombstone, Arizona, the shootout at the OK Corral, all of that started with the sheriffs taking the guns from certain people. So law enforcement had some pretty strict rules back then. So why would you compare anarchy to the Wild West?
I'm talking about the neutral zones in a way of, I mean, there's no way you can really force someone to give them your guns unless, I don't know, if you had like a implanted a nuke within you or something, then it's like, well, if you kill me, it doesn't matter who's going to come out of this or not. But
well, that brings up another question that we've asked Bima, and I'd love to get your answer on this. Over 5,000, probably closer to 6,000 nuclear warheads. In your world, who would possess those?
everyone.
Well, not everyone could have one because there's 350 million people in this country, and there's only let's call it 5,500 warheads. So not everybody gets one. So what's the more accurate answer? Who actually gets these?
Again, it's a free for all. So I mean, all right. First off, I guess if let's say we were going to go through a thorough hypothetical, in the beginning, people are going to be buying them. Some people are going to be selling them.
But who has them to sell them? Because like right now they're like
military.
Oh, so the military will either keep them or sell them.
Correct.
And you think that's a good development?
Yes. Corporations could also purchase the warheads too.
So you're pro-nuclear proliferation?
Yeah. Look, the type of ideology I'm speaking of, if you view it like Warhammer 40K mixed with Terminator, times 100.
Anybody have any other questions for Lordness? You guys think that this sounds like an attractive place to live, where the military sells nuclear weapons to whoever they want?
Sorry, just a question. Would Iran as well be one of the countries that can have nuclear weapons?
Wait, Iran?
Yes, Iran.
I mean, look, my ideology isn't for the world; it's only for the U.S.
But what if one of these military guys that's
if they do,
what if he wanted to sell it to somebody in Iran? Would that be okay?
Look, it's their choice. If they do, they do. But I highly doubt they're really going to succeed in any way with one warhead when this ideology has a very massive competition of war and technological growth to the point that they are capable of destroying the planet if they are losing their territory.
Well, again, you never cease to amaze me with your bad ideas. Anthony, just to catch you up on what's going on here, Lordness, who's an anarchist, he was asked the question, who would get the nuclear weapons if we had complete anarchy, and he said that the military would have them, and it would be their choice to keep them or sell them. And he indicated that it would be their choice if they wanted to sell these weapons to a nation state like Iran.
I mean, nuclear weapons is I'm sorry, Anthony. Go ahead, man.
Nah, Moose, it's all good. This idea that the military, what I look at, I look at self-interest, and it would not be in the military's self-interest to do anything like that, bro. It makes fundamentally no sense whatsoever. So I have to vehemently disagree with your assessment.
So you think that the military is its own, in this hypothetical then, all right, wait. How would the military actually progress in this ideology?
I would go from one sheriff Wild West to nuclear weapons.
They're also going to go against corporations that could probably make worse things.
In society breakdown, the military, they have guns, butter, training. They're going to be the ruling class like they are in a lot of countries when there's a military coup. If we have anarchy, they and their loved ones will be well taken care of. If they can't produce it, they'll take it. It's just that simple. With them selling nuclear weapons makes no sense whatsoever.
I wonder what Brent has to say about this. Brent, Lordness says that in his desired state of affairs, the government would not exist and anarchy would prevail. And when he was asked about nuclear weapons, he said that the military would just keep them and they would be free to sell them if they'd like. So if you were a submarine captain and you had a submarine and the nukes that are on board, you could keep them or you could sell them. What do you think of Lordness's idea about this?
Well, I mean, taking it slightly more seriously and going back to the roots of anarchy and this kind of thought of elimination of the state, nuclear weapons are a great example of why you can never actually go towards political anarchy. See, because you frankly need that hierarchical control with something but like nukes, because you have to have one voice to watch it. You have to have, that deterrent effect, and there's just no way out of it now that we have over 3,000 nuclear weapons. So it's like responding to Cinderella and the magic or the Magic Kingdom. I mean, it's not worth responding to, besides the fact that to point out that political anarchy was always unfeasible, but in the modern world, nukes are an example why it is especially unfeasible now.
So what if we got some a lot simpler, like old technology, like the railroad? Lordness, who would you've got a railroad that goes across the country. It could be for passengers, it could be for freight. In an anarchy society, when you don't have the organization of these things, what would happen if the people, let's say in Montana, decided, hey, we're going to build a bowling alley here, right where the tracks were. We're going to take the tracks out, and they just completely destroyed the train system. Who would stop them from doing that?
Nobody.
So you wouldn't be able to have a transportation method that crosses the country, such as roads or railroads.
I mean, there's other methods besides trains. If, let's say, we go down this route. I mean, look at my PTR. Back to that, the military selling the nukes and all that. Would they really be capable of fighting something like this in the PTR? An army of these, probably made from mad scientists creating all of these different experiments and weapons and all that within a matter of days, because there's no regulation to stop them from creating it. Especially when they have the money and time to do so in corporations.
I'm trying to understand your point here. Can somebody help me with the translation?
No.
I believe he's saying without the government, weapons are going to advance at a much faster rate than they are currently advancing. Not just weapons, technology, transportation, every form of thing will advance to the point that no other country around the world would not want to fuck with this country. No way. Because then, I mean, let's just say if the whole world united against this one country, with all these different ideologies and corporations and all that, I mean, it could go down to either the specific ideology winning that war, or if we're close to losing it, might as well destroy the whole planet.
That doesn't sound like a good strategy to me, but let me ask you this. Who would coordinate the Navy? Because that's one of our big advantages when it comes to global supremacy and warfare. Who would control our Navy?
It would vary in the ideology that has control of a massive Navy.
That did answer my question.
All right, then let's say Amazon, right? Let's say if Amazon was able to mass produce a navy, a strong navy. I mean,
And what would you do? You'd transfer warehouse workers into soldiers?
if they have to.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Lordness from Chillism.
Well, I wasn't originally there. I used to listen to your rooms a long time ago, I think a year ago.
Did you have these ideas back then?
Yeah.
Got it. So, do you think that Chillism is a cult?
Somewhat. I know a lot of cults. They're not 50-50, but not fully.
Got it. Do you feel like Chillism has a Scientologist rhetoric?
I don't know. I mean, look, it's a little bit mixed in there.
Got it. So you don't see like an undertone of Scientology?
Not that I know of, or I can comprehend.
David, welcome. We're just talking to Lordness, who is walking us through this very well thought out philosophy of his called anarchy. And he was explaining to us who would possess the nukes, how life would just go on if there was no railway or interstate roads, how we would protect against foreign invasions if we have no coordinated navy. It's fascinating stuff, Dave. John, who do you think is a better presenter of ideas, Bima or Lordness, when it comes to anarchy? Anyone want to answer? Okay, the whole room's gone silent. Perfect, amazing.
Well, I've only been to Chillism today. I haven't been there before. But I'm extremely fascinated by this character, Lordness, because I mean, are you actually trolling? Tell me the truth.
Oh, no, I'm not. I mean, I'm writing a story on this novel too, or on this ideology too. So, I mean, either way.
Are you completely mad?
I mean, you can say whatever you want and make as much claims as you want, but it's just my belief system.
Okay.
After all, I do believe in the multiverse.
Oh, right, okay. And, yeah, okay. I mean, I don't need to ask anything else. Thank you.
Okay, Lordness, you have me on multiverse, sir. Now my interest is piqued. And I was in the store, I couldn't answer Mojo's question. I think he said who's the better speaker or the best presenter of their ideology, Bima or Lordness. I would have to say Lordness. He's very descriptive with his narrative. It's well thought out. As fantastical and insane as it is, I have to give him credit for the creativity he's put into this chaotic, deathly world that he wants to live in, where there are no laws, no rules, rape, murder, the children aren't safe, the women aren't safe. So, and then you added the multiverse as icing on the cake. So I guess you would win in the battle between your narrative and Bima's narrative.
I think that's a good point, because Bima typically just says, I support ideas where you cannot initiate force or coercion onto another person or people. And then when you ask her for specifics, she has nothing. So at least Lordness engages with us and tells us what he thinks that this might look like.
I mean, I'm just giving you guys the little things that you guys are asking questions about. I'm not giving the full-on, in-depth detail of it.
Who would make the rules?
Now, all right, this is still a little bit of a weird, iffy part. Think of it like the Illuminati. Think of it like the Illuminati, but a little bit more like its own military force that has the most advanced technology in every way to defend this ideology. Now, laws and all that, I mean, it would vary on the territory, but mainly that military force of the Illuminati, hypothetical military force and all that, that would be the portion of the ideology that would defend the specific ideology if either one of the ideologies was a majority of the whole state or country, or if a nation attempts, or all nations attempts to go against the specific ideology.
But isn't that kind of antithetical to the whole point?
They're not enforcing laws. They're only there just to let it keep it going.
But by virtue of that, they are enforcing law.
So I'm not getting what you're asking.
If the purpose of them is to defend the ideology, that seems to me to be a system of governance.
Somewhat. See, this is like a little bit of the iffy part because they're not really, because there's no main government because of all the different ideologies, the corporations, let's say communism. If Amazon was its own form of military and defense force and all that, there are so many forms of ideology within their own territory as societies and different forms of currency. Like it expands to a larger picture. Like this specific force doesn't involve itself with any form of the land or territory. It's just like think like a spire. It's just a little spire that's just empty and void, nothing at all. And let's just say if one of the ideologies took control of the whole country, or let's say if the whole world was to go against this country, this military force would be capable of going against the whole world and or the specific ideology.
How does this military fund itself?
I mean, mainly taken from the other ideologies through back deals.
Ideologies have bank accounts?
Yes, I mean, different forms of currency.
Kind of sounds like taxes.
I mean, some could have taxes, some wouldn't.
Who would have the authority to collect taxes?
So if, let's say, the corporation had taxes, obviously they would have their own form of police force and military to collect the taxes. Or an AI system that automatically collects the taxes within the territory.
So in our current state, we have a constitution and we have a legal basis to say that we're going to collect these taxes. What would be the basis that gives this company the authority? And what if a competing company comes along and says, no, give the taxes to us, we're better? What's to stop that?
I mean, they'd have the right to do that.
Yeah, I mean...
So would you have to pay taxes to every corporation?
Not everyone. No, not everyone. I mean, because they all vary. I mean, wherever you choose to live, it's good.
Anybody.
I mean, you don't have to, but they might kick you out or force you to do work.
Mortis, do you think this is a good idea?
Yeah, I mean, you've been asking me this a couple times.
No, I've asked you what your ideas are, but I'm asking you if you think it's a good idea. I mean, like, it's one thing to come up with an idea. Like, there's another to come up with good ideas. You think this, like, do you think this would optimize human flourishing?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
Hey, so Mojo, I just been wanting. So when you were talking about Wild Wild West before, and yes, there was law enforcement, albeit at a very low scale. Do you think, like the Deadwood Age and all that, like, you know, the new sheriff in town, would it be fair to say that not all homicides were accounted for, or even remotely pursued?
Yeah, I actually heard these comedians talking about this, where they were saying that in the Wild West, somebody could go and kill somebody, rob a bank, whatever it is, and then they can, then they draw a wanted poster, and so the only wanted poster is this image of what he looked like. Let's say he's wearing a particular type of hat, and let's say he has a mustache. He can get rid of the hat, shave his mustache, and then just go become a sheriff in another town. Like, it was. There's definitely a lawlessness.
Exactly.
It's amazing.
Deadwood is a fantastic show, though. I'm actually rewatching it. It's been a number of years.
It was so unfortunate that they didn't get the natural conclusion to that show. The movie that they made years later was just not up to the standard of the show.
I heard it was bad, yeah.
Yeah.
Swerenzer. Sucker Swerenzer.
Yeah, no, I think the Wild West was an interesting thing. I actually think that
Kima, why do you gotta kick Mojo out like that? That's rude.
I wasn't even a mod until he left. His battery died or something. He probably got a dead battery.
Does anyone have other questions, or mainly just Roger asking the questions?
Well, my thing is, sir, I'm not entirely. Oh, hold on. Lordness, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. I'll be honest, I'm not entirely convinced that you want to live in this world unless you live in a castle with a moat, a fortress of somehow, because I don't think you'll be able to. I mean, you would have to have a pretty solid some weaponry to protect you and yours, right? Because I don't think that you alone, you would have to have an army of darkness to fend off the rabid personalities who would come and want to rape and pillage your property. So I don't know. Do you have what does your army of darkness look like, sir? Because you're definitely going to need one. And also, here's the really important question: are there zombies in this apocalyptic world where anarchy rules?
Now, if a ideology does create zombies somehow, sure, but I highly doubt that's a possibility. If anything, it's all going to be cyborgs or clones or mutation creatures, some type of infection that could create biomass and all that.
The cyborgs and clones, I forgot about them. So yeah, what if the cyborgs go rogue? Humans are no match to cyborgs, sir.
Well, that's where you got to improve yourself in any way possible to go against them.
Improve yourself? Like more push-ups?
No. I mean, like having cybernetics and all that. Going full-blown, like just doing whatever it takes to improve yourself in any way.
In a world without police, I don't think it'll be as violent as people think it is. I think the police. I think the police actually perpetrate violence because people think they know they can do certain shit, and they protect it to a certain extent. So like in a world without police, it'd be more respect than people think.
Do you think police are worse than armies of darkness?
Oh my! Look. I mean, with Kima, I agree with you. Yeah, I mean, like it's in the beginning, it's gonna be like the purge. It's in any form of ideology change, it's gonna be chaotic. Probably not as chaotic as the ideology I'm for, but
I think it would be more. Oh, sorry, no, go ahead.
Over time, it will just like calm down, and then it's just just I'm minding my own business. You fuck with me, we're gonna see how that goes.
I agree. I think Akima's honest. I think the shock value will, of course, it's not going to be overnight. People, of course, will take advantage of whatever for a while, but then a lot of criminals actually literally live on the thrill of cortisol and adrenaline, of being smarter than outsmarting the police and all that. I think it'll go back to truly it takes a village, not just to raise a baby, but to look after your neighbor. I mean, at the end, when the Italians and Jews came over to New York, fun fact, the Jews and Irish started their organized syndicates in New York before the Italians. And the Italians were like, all right, you don't want us, we'll create our own neighborhood. And of course, Hollywood took it from there. But they literally did. They looked over neighborhoods, albeit for a nominal fee to keep your store safe from getting burglarized. But I think, really, at the end of the day, wherever one lives, like, see something, say something. Like, how often do you feel that if you're walking down the street, you see somebody in trouble, someone will, a bystander will try to intervene on some level?
Folks don't like to intervene today. A lot of people like to mind their own business when they see people are in distress or being harmed. It takes a real true hero to want to help, someone vulnerable. And we seemingly are our growing population of weaklings, beta male mentality, folks who just want to mind their own business, look the other way. They don't want to get involved because they think if they get involved, they're putting themselves in harm's way. So I don't know. In Lord and Mrs.
Unless they want to film it, they'll film it before they get involved.
Exactly.
You read my mind, David. Exactly. That's it. That's their way of getting involved. But the thing is that you don't have to be the hero. You don't have to jump in and physically put yourself in danger or make yourself vulnerable. There's actually courses. It's like nonviolent bystander, interference or something. Where literally, on the average, if you're across the street and you just start yelling like, "Hey, what the hell are you doing over there?" 9 out of 10 times, the attacker will run off like a scared rabbit. You don't have to run over there to be the hero and beat somebody up. In fact, the only time I've ever been jumped in my life, late at night, walking the streets, coming out of a bar, these guys jumped me. They didn't even want my money because they threw a bottle at me. They were just coming out of some strip club, and I was like, "What the fuck?" And one of them, they jumps out of the car, runs over to me, and I'm like, whoa, dude, like, I'm not looking for... Before he got the sentence out, he knocks me to the ground, and some random dude happened to be across the street. He's like, "Hey, you okay over there? What the hell's going on?" And sure enough, the rat ran away.
Well, but I think in Lordness's world, if you say, "Hey, what are you doing over there?" you might get popped in the damn head, right? So I don't know. I'm not sold yet. I don't want to live in this world that Lordness is painting, because I just think, criminals know that there are now, in real life, criminals know that there are real life consequences to their criminality. If there's no judges, jury, and executioners, I think folks will run rabid. There would be death and destruction for years to come. I disagree with this theory that there would only be violence initially and that it would quell off somehow. I don't know. The modern day human is insanity. We want to be that violent. We're so far removed from spirituality, God, emotions, right? And if there's no one there to check us, then we will fully maximize this free will, this so-called free will that we have, and unleash, our nefarious ideas and ideologies onto the next human. So I don't know, Lordness.
Now, the reason why, what I think, like you said, there's no one to check you. Like it will be at that point. Like people will check each other. Because right now, a criminal have an advantage. One, he's not afraid to go to jail, and you know that your retaliation is not. You're not going to retaliate, especially not to the degree that you're going to go harm one of his loved ones. But in that reality, people know that if I do something to you, you're not just going. There's no jail. The retaliation, you won't come after me, my family. So it's going to be more of a reality. There's not going to be protection from the police for the criminals have the advantage. Everyone's going to have the same attitude. If you come fuck with me, I'm going to come fuck with you and your family. And that's going to keep a lot of people in check.
Well, I also think we would have to, in that case, we would have to have like these communities or compounds of people who want to maintain civility, right? I think in the world that Lordness is painting, humans, your average human would be very scared because they don't know the motive of those they encounter out in the street. You don't know if the person you encounter will kill you, pray for you, pray with you, join you in the rebellion, steal your shit, right? Or if they are checkable. So I think in this world that Lordness is painting, you would have to, I always like to say your vibe attracts your tribe. If you are the type of person that needs law and order and you want to live a very peaceful, soft kind of life, free from murder, robbery, chaos, et cetera, you would have to find like-minded people and build communities with them, a gated community, a fortress around this community so that the weirdos and the killers don't penetrate, right? Because I don't think that this will be a harmonious society that you guys seem to think it will be. And have we not seen? Have we not watched science fiction films? Has the Walking Dead not taught us anything about what it would be like in a world full of where there's no law, there's no governance? Maybe I've just watched too many sci-fi films and zombie films and post-apocalyptic films and anarchy films and The Purge, et cetera, et cetera. It sounds like an utter nightmare, this world that Lordness has crafted in his mind. Hakima, you would want to live in such a society?
I mean, we live in one right now where a certain group of people can do what they want to do to other people. I'm not talking about racially. I'm talking about as far as the government. They can do whatever they want to do right now. There is anarchy right now that we're not.
Plato has some interesting thoughts on this, on essentially every man does what's right.
But even a movie like the show like Walking Dead, most people was trying to do the right thing. Most people was creating community. You had a few bad apples, but they run through every now and then. But most people was trying to. Everybody was not just savages.
Before serendipity goes, I was going to say, fun fact. Sounds like you're a Walking Dead fan. They did a voiceover for one of the characters for the video game. Unfortunately, my character got killed off early, but it was fun.
Oh, so, right on.
Moose, how much has AI destroyed voiceover work?
Not as much as you think, Mojo. Not as much as you think. I know that was actually one of the, as Nye knows pretty well, like the huge actors writer strike. Was that last year?
I think it was 2 years ago.
God, was that 2 years? Good Lord. Big part of the writing part was, and actually actors too, like having their images like an avatar, replicated by AI. But the bigger threat was not eliminating AI for writers, but limiting the use of AI in TV and movie writing. But let's keep it real. Some of the shows that are out there, you're like, AI might be better.
Maybe it was last year, Moose, the strike. I really don't remember now.
So, Moose, what would be a hilarious development? So this app, they partner with somebody to basically, they can take your voice and license it however they wish.
wouldn't it be crazy if something went super, just exploded, maybe like a Pixar film where they took voices from Clubhouse? What if your voice became the star of a major hit without your consent?
A major hit like John streaming multiple channel? Like, I don't equate major hit with Clubhouse, but do you mean like?
I mean that Paul is partnered with an AI company to give them the voices. And Paul can, with this company, they can license our voices to do anything. They can repurpose it in any way they wish. It's part of the terms of service.
I don't think I see enough on here to even get noticed from Paul or those guys.
This is why they wanted the voice chat stuff, the voicemails, so they could isolate and make sure they had a fingerprint so they could know exactly whose voice was whose.
Yeah, Freddie Roosevelt and I did a room about a year ago or so. I'm sure some of y'all remember Freddie Roosevelt. And we talked about just that, using our voice and likeness on this app, because Freddie, when he was really active on this app, I had noted, Freddie, you have very specific lingo and slang, and he was commenting on how he would dip in and out of rooms, primarily white rooms, hosted by people who he never saw in his spaces, or at the very least, he didn't know that they frequented his spaces, and he would go in their rooms and hear them repeating his slangs and his slogans, but at the same time giving him credit. And I said, yeah, Freddie, don't be surprised one day if you're perusing the internet and you come across some AI model that was designed in your name, likeness, and image, and is speaking like you, using some of your catchphrases, because that is why this app is a social experiment, in my opinion, as we, most of us have discussed, in these spaces and similar spaces, to use our voices, to, study our voices, to train AI models. So, yeah, Mojo, I agree with that.
Where did you guys fall on the writer's strike?
Oh boy, go ahead, Mojo.
I'm a weirdo. I feel there should be no AI at all in creative writing. I think it's okay for reporting. I don't know if you guys noticed, but when you go to your streams, your news streams, whatever, on your phones or laptops, like it'll say story by, and they'll put someone's name. But if you actually, I've just been noticing far more grammatical errors in these stories. I think less and less of them are actually really being written by humans. I think there's just giving AI ChatGPT notes of the story and take it from there.
So this is my take on the whole writer's strike thing, is that if you're not a better writer than artificial intelligence, then you don't get the job. If I were looking for a story, if I wanted a screenplay to make a film out of, if you're a screenwriter and you can't write a better screenplay than AI, I think AI should take your job. Like, it should. In fact, I think it would be immoral to give the nod to the human if AI wrote the better story. Currently, we don't have that problem, despite how bad some of the writing is today. I think we're at an all-time low in terms of the writing of screenplay. Well, actually, I take that back. I think that there's great writers out there. In fact, I know there's great writers out there that just can't find the funding to do their projects. But if you can't sell the idea, and if the folks that are going to put the money behind the movie don't believe it's going to sell, they can be guilty of being wrong, but you need their money, and so you need to do a better job of selling that. And so I just think that because money is It's show business. It's a business. They want to make money. And as long as they're going to do that, I think this trend of going for existing IP where you have a built-in audience is going to continue. And the only way I see writers cracking into that would be through fan fiction.